Yeah, accept Thursday. Right, and that's how we kickstarted with part one of the scene. All right, so our participants online, please stay intact. Do want to put your camera on and wear a big smile. We'll have your photos taken right away. So if you're online, please do well to put your camera on, wear a very, very wonderful, great smile, and then we'll have your photos taken. Please let me know when the photo is taken for online. I'm waiting for the signal to know that our online photos will be taken. Okay, so I'm waiting for the signal to know that yes, online photos will be taken. Are we done? Are we done? Okay, so are we good? Okay, so please, online participants, do want to put your camera on. Yes, we need you to put your camera on wherever you are. And wear a big smile. Wear a big smile. So I can see some people with some very wonderful smiles. Thank you very much. Yeah, I see Kodo. Well done with your smile. Very good one. Naomi, beautiful smile. Very nice. Keep it up. Ezra, beautiful smile. We're doing that for like 5 minutes. Well done. Please, are we done with the photo shoot online? The people are smiling. One more. Please, the last one. If you haven't smiled, smile. Good. I can see people are trying to add more gears to your smile. Yes. Blessed. Thank you very much. Good smile. Esther, I should mention it. Well done. You've been smiling. Are we good? Thank you very much, participants online, for your indulgence. Thank you very much. And now I'll give the microphone to my colleague, Gloria, to help us with what's happening in part two. Please put your hands together for her.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ajuman Dakon. He is the project manager here at AU. Thank you so much. So we'll continue. We are in part two now. And part two focuses on practical understanding, demonstration, implementation of universal acceptance. And before we begin the session, we would like to, all of us, to introduce each other. You have to introduce yourself so that when we meet you outside, I won't say, hey, I met you at AU long time, I've forgotten your name. We don't want that. And so, if you can have one mic going around, kindly introduce yourself, mention your name and then your organization, and then we take it up from there.
Ladies first.
Okay. My name is Maud Ajele. Ajele, who hear me? It's always missing. Maud Ajele Ashon Elliott. What else? Okay, I'm a lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra. I'm in the IT department. I'm engaged in a lot of things that have to do conversations on digital transformation. I'm the president of Internet Society Ghana chapter. I'm the president of AIS Women's Network. Wow. I'm the president of AIS SAKE Social Inclusion Church, Women's Leader. What else? Many things. I mean, my JSS president, primary school president. No, so it's all about leadership when it comes to me. And whatever impact we want to make to develop our own colleagues, and even those below us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you are not moved by the
Thank you.
presidency, what else will move you? Yes, sir. How about
Hello, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Derek Ananfio, and especially invited here by one of my bosses, and I appreciate him so much for being here today in the presence of Mamattah. I'm the assistant manager for UNESCO Ghana Limited, and I'm very, very enthused to be here. I'm picking up a lot from this conversation, and nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much.
I'm Abubakar Sadiq Adams, IT technologist at Kolebu. I'm the founder of Think Cyber Solution Limited and a Ghana SEC fellow. Thank you.
yes? A quick one.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Quick Williams. I'm a service personnel at the Association of African Universities.
Thank you. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Boache, and I'm NSP of Association of African University.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Felix Kofi Enim. I'm an NSP at the Association of African University.
Next time, NSP is in a position, you are doing something here. That's what we want to hear, right?
Okay. Good morning. My name is Michael, System Administrator, Winningham Limited.
Thank you. To you, sir.
I'm Abraham Tamate from Ghana Statistical Service, IT officer.
Thank you very much. To you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Doche Koshibi Kelvin. I'm a student, a level 300 student of UPSC, and I'm a cybersecurity analyst as well. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Iswaku Bernard. I'm level 100, level 400 student from UPSC.
Thank you very much. And to you, my colleagues here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Elsie. I'm the social media specialist here at the AAU.
Applause.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charles Salute. I'm here to capture the moment.
What else? Chief.
My name is Chief Dra. I'm the chief technician here.
Thank you very much. To you.
My name is Zavna Kolite and I'm a software developer at AAU.
Thank you very much. Applause for morale building. You know Raymond, don't you?
Hi, I'm Raymond Mamattah, the founder and president of EGIGFA.
My name is Frank Asifua. I'm the senior web developer at the Association of African Universities. I'm also the MEL specialist for the Chinova and Claire projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please applause for morale building. To you, sir.
My name is Richard Ahiamble. I'm a system administrator at UPSC.
Thank you very much.
My name is Nanaya from System Admin Down Insurance.
Thank you very much. And to the one who is always hyping.
This the second time I'm doing this. First I've been Genfi and cloud engineer at Haptel.
Thank you very much. Please do it for the hype man. Do it for him. Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvester Pakufi-son, IT officer at Selby Technology Limited.
Right. Yeah, Richie Bonnie, ISOC.
Right. Please do it for him, please.
Yeah, Gideon Dogbe, IT officer, Morley School, and system administrator.
Yeah, I'm Bernard Bani, National Communications Authority, IT division.
Well, I think we'll have to do it again.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Felicia Nkrumah Agbeji. I work here at the Association of African Universities.
I'm Yaovi Atohoun from ICANN. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I missed somebody, all right? I'm glad he's back in the room, sir.
How did you miss me? All right, my name is Kweku Entry. I work with the Ghana Domain Name Registry. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you And there we are, Gloria, as you said.
Thank you very much. We move on to the online participants. We would like you to also introduce yourself and then the organization. So kindly unmute and then introduce yourself.
Okay.
We are not leaving you behind. You are
Not at
part
all.
of us.
Not at all. I mean, I'm impressed by this gesture that everybody has to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, hello, good morning. Please, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. My name is Esther Araba means Makwansa. I am an actress, photo model, and an online TV presenter. Plus, I am also a cybersecurity professional, and I'm from Makatop IT Securities as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great profile, please. Put your hands together for her. And who's next?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I am Joshua Kwesitete with Ghana Education Service. I am a teacher in the OT region. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And next? Okay, can we have the next speaker, the next participant to do the introduction? Then we'd have to be picking. Nelson, can we hear from you? Emmanuel? How about you, Blessed? Oh, Enoch Pani is here. Enoch, can we hear from you, Enoch?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So my name is Enoch. I'm a software developer at AAU.
Thank you very much. And who else? Makita.
Yes.
Let's hear from you.
Please, my name is Makita Kofi. I'm a student at Ho Technical University, an IT student there.
Thank you very much for joining. Do I have Felder here? Felder Engman. Dr. Eggman is here. Doc, can we hear from you? Okay. How about you, Mauli? Ugona, can we hear from you?
Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Hello,
Ugona.
good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead and do the introduction, please.
All right, my name is Ugona Wogu, and a cyber diplomacy enthusiast. And I am from Nigeria, and I'm just here to participate.
Thank you very much for your participation. We have other fellows like Ezra who are here. Can we hear from you, Ezra?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ezra Tablaje Babotem, Ghana Sikh Fellow and an information technologist at Lands Commission Ghana. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you very much, Ezra. And to all other members who are joining, Lisa, Nathaniel, and a whole lot more. If you would want to do a quick introduction of yourself, you can please go ahead. Lisa, Eric, Nightshade. I mean, there are a lot of you over here, but if you want to do an intro, you can go ahead. If not, I want to say a big thank you for us for introducing ourselves and also proving that, yes, you are in tune with us on site. Up next is an UA explainer video, a series of videos to help us appreciate the essence of this day and our achievements thus far. If you're ready, please put your hands together as we get to see the videos. Please, an applause, applause, applause. Thank you very much. I like the fact that my online participants are flooding the airwaves with applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Email addresses that are longer than 3 characters in a variety of scripts in the domain name system has grown and evolved over the years. Internet users now have the ability to register domain names and email addresses that are longer than 3 characters in a variety of scripts in multiple languages. That's why we need universal acceptance, a technical best practice to usher in the next era of internet connectivity that grows with the needs of users around the globe and supports those who speak your language. Because when everyone can enjoy the benefits of a multilingual, digitally inclusive internet, it just clicks. Learn how you can get involved and help build an internet for all.
Hi, it's a privilege to be here. We live in a truly multilingual world with millions of speakers communicating in their local languages. To allow these individuals to navigate the internet and communicate online effectively, ICANN and its community are working hard to enable domain names and email addresses in local languages. Even though it is now possible to have domain names and email addresses in local languages, they're not always supported by software applications. And this hinders digital inclusion of these users and the communities of yourselves who want to use your language. A concept known as universal acceptance, or UA, aims to make it possible for everyone, no matter where they live or what language they speak, to use the internet with their choice of domain name or email address and their language of choice. Achieving UA, or universal acceptance, has economic and social benefits by allowing multilingual internet users to access and connect to businesses and local communities, as well as embrace cultural traditions. ICANN.org, many organizations, and a community of volunteers worldwide have been working hard to encourage universal acceptance of all valid domain names and email addresses in any length in language or script to promote digital inclusion. You can do your part by getting involved in UA events in your local community and supporting the use of all domain names and email addresses in your own software applications. Your contribution matters to making digital inclusion possible for all.
All right, please put your hands together for the videos we watched. These are carefully curated to help us appreciate how far we've come, and also to use the opportunity to also acknowledge our participants who are joining from Sierra Leone, who are online. So please, let's put our hands together for our colleagues from Sierra Leone who are joining online. They are here to celebrate with us in Ghana for our UA Day program. And up next, to help us make the points, gather the dots, and all that has been shared in the videos that we watched earlier, is our very own key stakeholder. I always call him a very, very important knowledge broker because he helps us appreciate the sense out of the many being shared. And he is the Africa Stakeholder Engagement and Operations Director for the International Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, the person of Yaovi Atohoun. Please put your hands together for Yaovi as he comes here again to help us appreciate understanding of UA. What exactly are we accepting universally? Please, one more time, put your hands together for him.
Thank you very much. I think I'll have my slide connected with the help of the technical team. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to present because we have heard a lot. Yes, because I just changed my agenda. So I want to hear from the room and from online because we had many people talk today and presentation. So I want to have questions and then to answer the questions. Yeah. So we have a microphone in the room. Any questions? Because we had a presentation from my colleague Seda. We have some videos. So any question you have. So it is quite important for me to have your questions. If not, I'll ask questions.
Questions online or on site? You can go ahead.
No question from the room? So I have a question now for the room. What are we talking about today? Because we heard many people talking about multilingual internet. Are we talking about, when we mention languages and internet, what are we talking about today? Are we talking about having more content on local languages? Who want to say something in the room? Oh, we have a volunteer here. My slide.
Okay. So in today's case, we are talking about domain names and email addresses being in different languages.
Okay.
So, yes.
This is what he said. Do we have someone online in agreement with him, or someone want to say something to add to what he said? Oh, we have a hand there. So you mentioned domain name and email addresses in all languages. Is this what you said? Thank you. Okay, in the room there, please.
Yeah, so I also feel that universal acceptance means that we did not develop the internet, but the main communication that happens there is through a borrowed language, which is English for us in Ghana here. But then sometimes we have languages of our own, like the native languages, and these we would want to also use them on the internet. So you notice that people on their phone have added keyboards in, let's say, ICANN, so that they can, when they are even expressing themselves to their friends, they can come up with words that they are more used to or that will reach the point that they want to. So likewise, universal acceptance is opening the internet up so that all these languages can be used effectively on it.
Thank you. Any question to Seda? We have a hand there before. I don't know if there's a question about the presentation made by colleagues, so, or the various videos. If you have questions, so please, we have you just introduce yourself and then you ask your question or you make input. Please go ahead.
Okay, so once again, my name is Kelvin. And
go ahead.
So my question was, I didn't come early, so I missed some parts. But I think the part I came to meet was why UA is important, right? So the first point she explained made me get a question by, if our applications are supposed to accept all languages or all languages in any domain, right? How do we then prevent homographic attacks? Because obviously maybe a letter A, we have the A, the normal A, and the other A, which most people, phishing attacks come with the other A, which in a form can be in a phishing form. So how do we then know the difference since you are accepting every single thing? Thank you.
Okay, a good question. So I see people are following. What he said, now we are saying that.
Yaovi, there's one comment also here.
Okay, from online? Okay,
Yes.
go ahead, please. Online.
So I sent that. Now, during CDE's presentation, she mentioned that we should be UA ready.
Yes.
The question is that call to the experts, the programmers, or it's also a call to any ordinary user out there for UA readiness?
Good question. So I want to answer that first. If we talk about UA readiness, it is, I will say all of us, we have a role to play. All of us, we have a role to play when we talk about UA readiness. If you follow the presentation from my colleague, Seda, if we are a user, we have a role to play. If you are a programmer, we have a role to play. If you are a government, we have a role to play. So being UA ready, we have all to contribute to that, to be UA ready. Like if I'm just an end user, I have to talk to my provider. Like if I'm using like someone, my organization, someone for internet services, I need just to ask the question to my provider. Is your system universal acceptance ready? This is my role. This is my role. And as an end user, we have a lot of public email addresses. You have a lot. If you go to town we go to town, we'll see many email addresses in town now. Public email addresses. We as a user, Raymond will share with us a link to test email addresses. So Raymond, in the next session, you'll share with us the link. There is a link to test email addresses. So I'm responding to all of us. Our role, just take one email address in town, info at something. Like we have an address, something for the company. They say, okay, contact info at something. Not now, but when we have that from your phone, you'll test that email address. This is our role. So this is to answer the question of when we talk about UA readiness, is everyone. So developers, they have to work on their system because sometimes they need patches to work on. If I'm developing myself, writing the code, I have to bear in mind that today, when we talk about domain names, it's not just 3 characters. People are using other characters in domain names. So that is the answer to the question. So linked to what he said, the name again, please? Kyobin. Yes, so to his question, he raised something about security concern. Because today you can use emojis, all this, so it is a good point. When we say that the email addresses and domain names should be accepted, it means that it is about domain names which are valid. So when we introduce or we talk about the concept of the universal acceptance, we still have the basic security, like rules we have. So our system should be able, like if someone send an email using a fake or something, an address, like I got a message, if I have a message now in English or in French and the content is something, if I'm not sure about the content, I need to double check about the content. So the same rules in security when we talk about domain name in ASCII, we have the same rules, meaning that someone can send an email to you using an address with characters you don't necessarily know. Now you have to check in the content to see if this content is true. So one way to check the content is to maybe call the person. So the same security rules will apply. So people working on email UA readiness, we are all concerned about that. So I think these are the question I want to raise, but something to share with you again, in addition to what have been said. We have today a lot of domain names. So we don't know necessarily these characters here. We don't know. But as I'm saying, we have today international domain names. We see characters in Armenian. We talk about script here, Arabic script, and even in Latin script, we have some characters in our local languages here. We have some characters people usually they don't use. So it's possible that someone register a domain name with a name in one of the local languages here. So our system should be accepting. So it's not something for future, it's for today. Because if someone decides today to register a domain name with under our CCTL country code top level domain here, this person should be able to send email to you and you should be able to receive it. So that is quite important. The most important is this character @ which is in the email address. So that is the most important. So I want to also emphasize on that one, that today we have a lot of people, a lot of communities. What is bringing us here today is that we have a lot of communities today using domain names in their characters. So that is quite important. So someone can send you an email today using an address with his character, but the content is in English. That is also quite important to note. So the content of the email the person is sending to you is in English, but the email address the person is using in maybe in Arabic or in Chinese. So if your system is not universal acceptance ready, your system will not accept. Another example I want to show you is this one. The challenge we are having today when we talk about universal acceptance. This is something also we have to look at. So it is a reality today. We are here today because we are from various organizations today here. We have a website. How many people have website in the organization in the room, for example? How many people? You have a website. Okay. So maybe you have a form on your website. In case you have a form on your website, your form should be in position to accept an email address, which is in a character different from the ASCII character. This is also quite important. This is why we are here today. This is why we talk about universal acceptance. So please, you may have someone sending or trying to enter an email address in Arabic. So if your system is not universal acceptance ready, so if it is an Arabic email address, the system will tell you, please enter a valid email address, while it is a valid email address, just because your system is not ready. So I want to stop there and also ask if you have some questions. We'll have some demonstration in the afternoon, but I want us to maybe to interact. So a question from the from online participant or from the room. Any question? Do we have a question from online participants? Did someone try to register under with the registration registrar here? So did someone trying to register a name with a local character? Can you try? Can someone try? How to register a domain name? I know Ghana domain name is. How to register a domain name? Is someone online here to try something? Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, please give the microphone to. Okay. You don't need to pay. Try. Yes.
Okay. So that section is. We'll do that one after your session.
Oh, okay. After.
Yes.
So okay. So
it's part of the outline.
Good. So but the question I want to know: can I register today something with a local character in Ghana? Oh, that is very good. Mm. That is good to know. So it's also good to know why we are here today. In the second part, we will understand all this. That is why we are here today. So let's again talk about general consideration. So is the concept clear to that end about universal acceptance of domain name? So if it is clear, I'm not going to present. The presentation is available online. the participants are sharing the link, and then we can stop my session at the top of the hour, so that we have the next session or the next agenda. So just want to check if we have more questions about this presentation. The general concept, when we talk about universal acceptance of domain name and email addresses, is that clear to everyone? Okay. Oh, we have something to say.
Here.
Yes.
So the question is, if this ideal, I mean, we see the picture very clear, but yet there seem to be some inhibiting factors. The question is, what are these difficulties? What are these hurdles that are hampering our 100% achievements of this goal?
That is a good question. The point is awareness. So many people don't know that there is something to do. Many people don't know. Today, if we take our phones, everyone, sometimes you have something on your phone, a message, or people tell you update your software application. Software. We used to do that most of the time, or we can ask people to do that for us, because we know that if you don't do that, we may have some issue using it. It's the same concept today. So what is blocking us? That people are not aware. Like someone will say that, okay, he knows people who are going to send him messages. He has these people in mind. But if I'm in university, for example, and people from outside, they can go to my website, the university or my company, not the university, my company. I know people can go to my website, and then there's a contact form on my website. People can come from everywhere from the world to contact me. So I have to know that people can contact me from everywhere. So the issue is that I'm not aware that today people are using domain names in characters different from the ASCII characters. I have to know that. So this is one thing preventing people to move. Like I was in a country, there is a public service website for that country. And we try to register. No, we try to do something on the public service website, and the person was using a local language character. It didn't work. So from that day, they realized that, oh, there is something we need to do in the country. We didn't know that people can use the local language character for email address. So, and they decide to take action. So the point is that many people, they don't know. This is why we are doing, and we are glad that we have media also here. I'm sure media also, when they are reporting, and then people will be aware. So it is a question of taking action to support people organizing this, and to do more after this day, even to do something more national. So we have to take this, because in our countries, we have the literacy when we talk about local languages. So we should be looking in the future, for the future, that maybe our communities, people are learning our local language. So they may be using our characters to do things. So what is now making us not move is just a question of awareness. People don't know. So if there's no question in the room, do you have another question in the room or in the online? If not, I will thank you all, and then we'll invite you to participate actively the rest of the day, people online and people in the room in the rest of the agenda. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for Yaovi. He made the session feel like an academy, where Q&As are very, very common. And at this moment, I believe that we all understand what's happening. I, for one, really appreciate his session. Please put your hands together for him once more. Very, very, very clear, very, very clear sessions. And we have built the understanding now about UA, the whole universal acceptance concept. And we now understand what the challenge is. and how we can all work together to achieve the goal. The next item on the list is for us to also be engaged in the UA adoption training / compliance. And this will comprise of some side presentations and demonstrations, which will be conducted by our colleagues in-house, Frank and Enoch. Please, with a loud round of applause, put your hands together for Frank and Enoch. Enoch is joining us online, so I know he's going to feature in. Frank is in here. Oh, okay, so we have Frank, Enoch, Raymond, and Sule. Please put your hands together for these four as they make their way upstage to help us with the presentations and demonstrations.
Okay. Good afternoon to you all. My name is Abdulmanaf Suleimana. I work here at the AAU as the Universal Acceptance Project Officer. So when Mr. Yaovi was presenting, he mentioned the EAI self-checker. So we want to demonstrate to you to see how the check is done. Please, I'll call randomly. Hello, sir. Please, your name and where you are from. Okay, so the next person.
Yeah, Gideon Dogbe, that's my name.
Okay.
Yeah, from GES. Yeah.
GES.
Yeah.
Okay. So please, we want to check to see if GES's email is compliant, UA compliant.
Okay, then I'll give you another one, which is Mauli. Get this one. Okay. Should I mention it?
Yes, please, yes.
MauliSchoolAdmission.org. MauliSchoolAdmission.org. Yeah.
Okay. So, please, can you display? So usually we check the email address to see if it is compliant. And email addresses usually are MauliSchoolAdmission.org. So check with info@MauliSchoolAdmission.org. So it says no MX records found. It means that your domain has not been UA, it's not UA compliant. Okay. So we'll check with the AAU email address so you see what shows. So. If you want to check on your phones, you can, the website is uasg.tech/EAI-check/.
I think take the address again.
uasg.tech. uasg.tech/EAI-check. uasg.tech/EAI-check/. So now we're going to check for AAU's email to see if it's UA compliant. Okay, so I'll just zoom in there. Just so you can see. Oh, you hold on. Okay. So now we'll check the AAU email address to see. So it says EAI is supported, which means that our email address and website is EAI compliant. I usually use this example. Mr. Ray will say Tonaton again. So we all know Tonaton means it's actually Tonaton, right? But because the O is not Tonaton, yeah. But because there was no O at the time, they used the O. So we'll test a Tonaton email to see if it is compliant or not. Then we'll test our domain that was bought for this exercise to see. So I did info@tonaton.com. It says no MX records found or for domain. Now, the domain that was acquired for this exercise is waseko.com. It has a or just like the Tonaton. So we'll test the info at waseko to see if it's compliant. So it says EAI is supported. Despite this being non-Latin scripts, it still says EAI is compliant. EAI is supported. Email address internationalization means EAI. So what this means is that once your website and your email are UA compliant, it will pass the self-check on the UASD website. My colleagues, Mr. Sefwa and then Mr. Enoch will take us through the steps. Mr. Sefwa will take us through the website aspect of it, and then Mr. Enoch will take us through the email setup aspect of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
If my colleague Enoch is online, maybe he could begin. Enoch.
Hello, my name is Enoch. So today I'll be sharing with you how we set up a fully working internationalized email server for waseko.com. So you can see from the domain name, we have the real Unicode characters. So we have the O and then the E. So waseko, for those who don't know, is a Ga word. And so this will give us an opportunity to show how to deploy an internationalized email server on Ubuntu. Yes, so on your screen now is the steps that we took to get the server up and running. So we are going to look at the things that we need, the hosting provider and the domain name, and then the setup of the SSH. And then we did a configuration of the DNS. We added some records. And then we also open up some ports. We need that for the application to run smoothly. And then the next step was to run the ICANN provider script. It's a very simple step, 2 steps, if everything goes well. And then we move on to set up the DKIM, where we generate and verify the signing keys. And then the set point is to log into Roundcube and then log in there to send out and then check and then receive emails, make sure everything's fine. So the 7th point was to make sure, really verify that everything is working. And then the 8th one was to do the integration. Before we did anything, we need to sort out a few things. So what we did, the first thing was to span up a VPS on Hostinga running Ubuntu 24. You can use Debian 12 because ICANN recommends that, and I think we can run it on any line knows this true, but the script has been tested on these two operating systems. So we recommend that you go with one of these two. We had a dedicated server and IPv6, therefore IPv4 and then IPv6. IPv6 is not compulsory, but I mean, if you have it, that's very good. And then we need to make sure that these ports are available to use, that no application is using them. These are standard ports anyway, so you're not expecting other applications to use them. So we need to open up this port. The other thing was to also set up reverse DNS. This is very, very, very important, because if you don't do that, when you send out the email, it may be rejected, or even if they get delivered, it will be flagged, and you don't want that. So you need to set up. And in terms of, the hosting environment, you don't need anything fancy. Budget friendly, smallest VPNs can host this application. The other thing also we did was to decide on where the mail server would be accessed. So whatseco.com already hosts the website, so that is not available. So I created a subdomain under the whatseco.com. That is mail.whatseco.com. So on your screen you can see some funny looking characters. So these are Pune code. So to generate that, you can enter the script on your screen, or you can install IDN2 and then run the script. It will generate the Pune code for your domain name. You copy it because you will be needing it for the next step. We have to be very, very, very careful when we're entering the DNS records, because the small mistake you do, you might not even realize that's the reason why the server is not working. So we're very careful. So we entered for DNS, we entered 6 records. So one for IPv4, that's the A record, and then the EEE for IPv6. We also did for MS record, and then the sorry. So we entered 2 text records for one for SPF and then one for DKIM. Then we did the reverse DNS. So to make sure that everything is working, we ran the NS lookup to make sure that everything that we've entered is actually resolved before we move on to the next step. One thing we're very careful about is we open port 22 for SSH before enabling uncomplicated file. That's the WFU. If you don't do that, you'll be locked out of the server. So we need to do that. And then once that is out of the way, we enabled the other ports, 25 for inbound, 465, and then 587 for outbound emails, the 80 for web and search boards, and 443 for system security, and then the others. Yeah, so like I mentioned, ICANN provides a self-hosting script for the EIA setup. So what we did was just run that, and it's very simple, just 2 commands. First, you need to download the script from the GitHub repository using the wget, and then you run the shell scripts on the screen. This, when it is done, would install postfix, devcodes, spam assassin, roundcube, setboards, let's encrypt, and OPKIM. Then when this is done and you don't have any error, what you do now, we will see this prompt on your screen. Would you show up the computer domain name, which is the same as the server name we saw earlier, and then the mail domain. So in our case, the mail domain name is different from the server. So you'd enter N for no, and then you enter the domain name. In this case, we use whatseco.com because we want people to have emails at whatseco.com. For example, frank@whatseco.com, and then the mailbox name. So this one supports UTF-8 characters, so you can enter characters like the Cyrillic alphabet, Arabic, and it will work. Now note this is different from what you will use to log into Roundcube in the next step. You wanted to also provide a password. So this password, it's ASCII only, no colon. Yeah, so after installation, we had to wire up DKIM manually. The script generates the key pair, but we have to grab the public key and add it to our DNS ourselves. So once that was done, we ran the open KIM test key against that domain, and the selector got an OK. The key is like OK, but there was an error. We hit a mismatch error on our first attempt. And to fix that, we regenerated the key and then update our DNS record. So if you face that, this is what you just regenerate the key and then you update your DNS record. So just like the reverse DNS, you also need to make sure that the key and values are valid, because if not, mails will be rejected, or if they are delivered, it will be flagged as spam, and you don't want that. If everything is okay, the server should be up and running, and you should be able to access the mail server. In our case, the mail.whatsapp.com. So when you go there, you'll be able to log into the mail server. So we went there and then we logged in. Like I said earlier, we are going to log in with the mailbox name, not the EAI address that we created. So the first email that we created will have a mailbox name as mailbox 1. The second will have mailbox 2, mailbox 3, in that order. So that is what you're going to use to log in. So you provide that information, and then the password that you created earlier. So we did that, and then we logged into the round cube, and then we changed our identity. So by default, you see the mailbox 1 there. In this case, if it's mailbox 1, you're not going to, you change it to whatever you want. So like in my case, manny@whatsapp.com. This is what people will see when you send out an email to them. When you're logging in, you log in with the login username is mailbox 1, mailbox 2, not the EAI address that we created earlier. And to create additional mailbox, you can run the script on the screen. So the prompt will show up. We're actually to enter the name. That's the UTF-8. It supports UTF characters. And then the password ASCII only. As at this moment, everything is working, but we needed to be 100% sure that everything is working. So what I did was to send a test email to check -auth@verify.port25.com. When we did that, we got these 3 information as passed. That's the SPF, the sender policy framework, and then the DKIM2 was passed, and then the reverse DNS2, we had a pass for that. The last piece was to get our WordPress sites to send contact form emails through the new server. So we installed some plugins and pointed it at the mail.whatsapp.com on port 465 with XSL, with the authenticated the mailbox 1 credentials. That is very, very important. So Frank would throw more light on that when he's doing his presentation. Yeah, so this is the full picture of what we were able to achieve for oseko.com. So a self-hosted mail server on Ubuntu with all 3 authentication checks passing. SSS handled by Let's Encrypt, and then WordPress fully integrated. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you very much, Enoch, for your presentation on the EUI. I would then talk about the WordPress that we've made. I'll just give a brief presentation before we actually go into the demo. I think Enoch even spoke about some of the things that we executed. We would be using IDNs. We'll be using some email addresses that are just for test purposes. So there's a disclaimer that we do not own those domains. We are just using them in order to do the demo when we show them up. In order to install WordPress, there are 2 ways. There is the very technical way, which has all you have to do it in scripts and all of those things. But I know many people install WordPress by using Softalicious or through the cPanel, right? So that I would skip to that because that is what a lot of people use. But I'll show the technical side as well for those who would prefer that one as well. The key thing is, after you install WordPress, you need to install a patch. Out of the box, WordPress does not come with email, SMTP, and those other applications to allow you to send emails. So you would have to manually enable them. But in order to set up the WordPress, the necessary thing is the current patch runs for the version 6.9. That's why I've highlighted that. So your WordPress must be 6.9. The patches that has come after with WordPress have not been fully tested with the current ICANN patch. These are some of the requirements that you need. You need an Ubuntu system for your OS and how you configure your server. But basically, many people just buy their server or they already have an existing server, so you just install your WordPress on it. And as I mentioned, WordPress does not natively support email address internationalization. It handles it with ASCII, as many of the other systems come out of the box with. So in order to get this done, we need to inject custom code in there so that it can work. I think the DNS records, Enoch has also mentioned it, how we're able to get the DNS, how we need to use puny code in order to get it into the addressing system so it actually sees what we've purchased. So basically, after we purchase the WUSECO, when you open that page on your browser, you will not see wuseco.com because it's also still not natively done in many browsers. So what you see is puny code where numbers represent the actual symbols, as it were. So we'll see that when we get there, but I will just wanted to give you a brief idea. So that is a description of how puny code looks like. Yeah, so the patch works on the email, email function in WordPress. So you have to find that in your WordPress installation and then change the lines that you need to do. So it's basically 2 lines that you have to change. When you change those, you should be fine. Yeah, after that, then it begins to work. So the patch is found here. That is the link to the patch. It's on the WordPress site because they request this as a ticket so people can access it. So as the last point mentions, when you update your WordPress, you might also need to update reapply the patch, right? But for what we use 6.9, and that was the recommended version to use the patch on. Yeah, so its email function is actually found in the formatting.php. In WordPress, when you install it in your main file or your main folder, you have to go into the WP includes folder and find formatting.php. You go there and then you find the lines that you have to change. You can just comment out the previous one and then just put in the new one so that in case of anything, you can just revert. Yes, I think I've already mentioned this, that WordPress does not natively support EAI, so we have to manually do it or execute it ourselves each time that we need to get it done. And PHP mailer in it is a hook that runs when the WP mail executes, and it allows you to customize the PHP mailer instance just before you send any email. And all these other functions and things can be added in order to make it much smoother for yourself. This is just a description of how the process flow is. So when you input your email through text, yeah, and one thing, often in WordPress, when you are using a contact form, like contact form 7 or formidable forms or all of those forms, they usually set the email section or text box as email. Natively, this would not work if you are trying to install the patch because the email still looks for the ASCII characters. It does not look for the ID and stuff. So you'd have to change the format that the email section accepts in your form from email to text. With text, it allows anything. So that is how those emails will be able to come through. And then it runs through the processes. If there's an error, it gives you an error before it sends. If it doesn't send, but if it works, then it goes through and is able to send it through the SMTP. All right. So I don't want to talk too much. I'd rather demonstrate. So these are some helpful resources that can enable you to use or set up the email server, as Enoch mentioned, whether you want to evaluate your technical tools or even how to develop and design your software and configure your email systems so that they can support both of them, the IDNs and the EAI. If you have any query, you can reach out to ICANN. Yaovi is also here somewhere, so if you have more questions, you can ask him. This is their social media and things. We will not take questions now. We would rather do a demo, right? After the demo, then we take questions. So my browser should be showing now.
Hello, Frank. Do you want me to assist you?
You can't see it. So it's not a PowerPoint though. It's my PC. I'm sharing my screen. Check now. Yes. Okay. All right. Enoch, it's fine. Thank you. So a few things. I'll just want to maximize my screen so you can see a few things. Oh, it doesn't actually maximize. I was trying to show you the puny code at the top. If you look at the browser, the URL section itself, it does not have this WSECO that we have here, right? If you notice, it's https //wsko-55b7ba.com, right? But we actually bought WSECO. That's because many browsers, this is what we call puny code. So many browsers do not render the symbols. So that is how it will display. Myself, when I did it, I was also thinking that, hey, maybe there's a problem. So it was a read that confirmed that it's actually fine. So this is the domain we purchased. Let me reduce it a bit more. Yeah, and you are welcome to WSECO.com. I'm still yet to find the meaning of WSECO. So maybe WSECO. Esga. WSECO. Which means, okay. WSECO. So future. Oh, okay. So UAD thinks for the future. So that is why we purchased this one. So Seri, thank you for your insights in getting things for the future. WSECO. So no WSECO. That's WSECO. WSECO. Okay. Hey. All right, that's fine. So we have a simple form here, which has name, email, last name, subject, and all of those things. Now, ordinarily, when you haven't changed your form, we used formidable forms for this WordPress installation. When you use the normal installation, right? When you type in an email address and it doesn't have the @ sign, it will give you a sign. When you do it and it doesn't have a dot and characters behind, it gives you a red alert that the email is not correct, right? This also stops the IDNs from going through because it will keep referencing them against what they already know, which is ASCII characters, right? But we want to use a different name to get it through. So what we'll do is we'll do a test email and then we'll send it through. Enoch would show the email server and then he will show that the test email we did here has gone through, okay? So we'll use someone's name. Please help me fill the form. So I want a first name. Gideon, okay. Gideon. The last name? Say it again. Dugby. Okay. Then the email. We can just first test with a normal email, right? So I want a regular email address. So if someone can share a test email or their personal email, that will be fine, just to confirm that it works. So it's not like it's Kululu that we have done something and then Enoch is at the back there seeing things. So maybe someone's email address who has opened their browser, their email, and then we test and see if the text message actually, the message actually comes through to their email. So can anyone volunteer their email address? Or it's too long? If it's too long, you can come and type it. It's the same name. Okay. Okay, so dogbegideon@gmail.com. So let's test it. Hey. There's Y at the end of the... Oh, okay. All right, then let me just copy it and then I'll redo it. Okay, so it actually sends, but to no one. So let's try it again. Okay. Please confirm if it's... Okay, it actually says it's sent. Can you please confirm for us?
Yeah, Frank, I'm sharing my screen. I don't know whether you guys can see it.
Say it again. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. So I'm not sure whether you guys can see.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, so the test email that was sent, I think it was sent by Gideon Dogbeck. So
yes.
It shows that the server is well configured and everything is fine.
You received it. Hey, please check your spam because it's IDN and you haven't received an email from us before. Hey, the network. No. This was sent. So the truth of the so we actually use your name to send an email to our address box. So it's not going to come to you. It's true. So he showed it that it came through from you, right? Okay. All right. So now let's try an IDN, right? Sorry, when you are here, some heat really confuse you small. So these are three options. We want you to pick one. And then I think it's two options. Suleimana. Yeah, so we can either use the Hindi character. Hey, I don't know if you can see my screen. It's too small. I don't know how to increase it. I'm going to show plenty things. Okay, all right. So let me just copy them and then place them into the email box. Right. This should be just a minute. Okay, great. So please, let's pick one of the emails that we will use. We either use the info@gra.org, but you notice that the A has an accent on it, right? Then this is all Hindi characters. So maybe we start off, we'll try both. So we'll start off with the info one. Let's see. I know some of you are already thinking what I'm typing, so. Yeah, so please check if you got the email and share your screen, please.
Yes, Frank. So the email came in. I don't know whether you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see. Can you please read it out?
There is one from the subject is test email to WhatsApp. So the sender is Grant Radius Assem. I hope I got the name right. And then the email address is info at I think there's a French accent.org. I don't know whether you can see my screen.
We can.
Yes. So the message is simple. Hi, please, can you stop speaking so I can go for lunch?
Thank you very much.
Frank, that's a message for you.
That is accurate, yes. So this is basically how it works. It allows you to receive emails from people who have other scripts. So imagine if you have a business partner in China and they are trying to write you an email to your company account, and you do not have this enabled. That means whatever project it is, it would never come through. It will not even go to spam. It will not come through at all. So AU has a project where we are working with universities, so they can set this up for their university websites. So that if they have students who, we know a lot of universities want international students. So we set it up so that when the international students are using their actual email addresses, which might not be the same script as the ASCII, it can still come through. So that is the benefit of this project and how important UA is. I would switch off back to Enoch. If there are any other demos you would want to make, Enoch, we are ready.
Well, I don't have much to. I don't think I have anything to show because my presentation captured everything. So just to say that I don't know whether you saw. Okay, let me log out and then log in again. You'll notice that when I'm logging in, I use mailbox 3. But when I was setting up the mailbox, I use a name. So, for example, Kwani at whatsapp.com. But when you're logging in, you need to log in with the mailbox that is sent. So the mailbox is in order: mailbox 1, mailbox 2, mailbox 3, and 4, like that. And then after logging in, what you do is that you change. You come to settings and then change the identity of the mailbox. So in this case, mailbox 1. So we change it to what you can see on the screen. We have Ghana Universal Acceptance Day. That was not what was there after setting it up, but we came in and we changed it. So this is what people will see when you send out emails. Yeah, so that's what I want to add to it.
All right, Enoch. Thank you very much. Maybe you give a round of applause to Enoch. Before I end, I also want to show you the patch for the WordPress. So the link that was shared in the presentation directs you to this website, which is WordPress website, where there's a ticket running. So how you make the changes, you need to find your WP includes and formatting.php. and then try and find this line. So the red line is what is already existing when you do the WordPress installation. The green one is its replacement. So in order not to start scrolling till you get to 3,534, which might not be the case in your WordPress installation because of maybe the title or things like that, you can just copy this text and then search it in your formatting.php. When you find it, you can just comment it out and then replace it with this content. When you're done, you then scroll a bit down and then find this one as well and then replace it with the green ones. That is it. Just 2 lines that you're changing and then it sets it up. But remember that the form that is handling your emails must be changed from email to text in order to make it work. But if you have any issues, please, you can reach out to ICANN. But if you prefer, you can reach out to me as well. I would assist you with it. That's just by the way. Thank you very much. And I would call on Seri. He will show you how to get the actual domain purchased. It was something we really struggled with. And you saw that Yaovi was even asking if it's possible to purchase these domains with the OR and then the air in Ghana here. It didn't used to be the case. It wasn't the case last year, but it has changed. So we would invite him to show us how he did his magic. So, Sir Ray, over to you.
All right. Thank you so far. I hope you are learning a lot and you go back to make impacts. So when it comes to registering an IDN, the challenges with our keyboard. You know, with our keyboard, you cannot get the usual texts that are not the normal English alphabets and the rest. So you have to use your phones. And one advice, don't use the symbols. If you, for instance, you are looking for the or character and you go to symbols and pick it, in registering it, it will identify as a symbol, but not as a text. So anybody who goes in and rather types in and use the or in the text, it will not recognize it. It will not go to the same domain site. So that's one advice that you should pay attention to. So for our test here, I would like us to mention some of the domains that you think we can use to test using our local alphabets. So please be thinking about it whilst I pick my phone. That's what I'll be using to type what you want. Okay, so what domains do you have? Anyone? Yes, Malcolm. Baba, okay. .org. Okay. So using my phone, I was able to type it, as you can see there, the O character. Any other one? So at least we can do 2 or 3, and we test it if it will go. Another one. Okpoto, spelling. Okay, okay, I'm an English, so that one is easy for me. T, all right, the okay. .com. Okay. Then I want to hear from a lady. The third domain. The last one. The ladies. Voodoo. Please spell it. No, U is already that. There's no IDN there because the V and the U are. We want ladies. The V and the U are already English characters, so we want the IDN that has our local scripts. Ogbejeke spelling. Fefe. The F with the long tail. Okay. Will it be the N or E? Okay. Dot. Sorry. Okay, so we use these 3 to test. So once we are able to type it and it is in the text, we'll just copy it and go for the test side. So we use Hostinger. So I'm already on the Hostinger site. So you see domain search. So before you register any domain, you must first do a search. So I'm putting the first one there. So do a search. So bobobo.org is already taken. But .com is available at $0.1 per year. That's the first year. But upon renewal, that is $19.99, and that is $20. So once you see this and you are comfortable with it, the next is to click add to add cart. Then you go to checkout. The checkout is where you do the payment. Then you take into considerations all requirements. So you see here, it's showing that if I choose 3 years, that comes to 39.99. And taxes, and mainly this tax is the ICANN tax, which is makes it to the 40.59. So you click the complete. If I complete now, my credit card will be debited. So that's the first one. So we go and check the next one. So do a search as usual. Fortunately, okoto.com is available. So anybody who needs it quickly can make sure you take it. Then, as usual, you add to cart. Then you continue. This one is showing the 2 domains, so I'll delete the first one. Then, those familiar with registering domains, you see the number of years that you can choose to register and which one not to register. So the 3 years is costing $40, but if it is the 1 year, that is $9.99. So you continue and do the checkout. So we'll do the last one. So if the domain wouldn't be able to resolve upon buying it, it will not allow you to register it. That is the trick here. And as Frank already mentioned, we were so scared because registering the IDN was part of the requirement to be shortlisted for the UAD. And we were scared that we wouldn't be able to register an IDN. We actually didn't know we could now register until we tried it. So that is the good news for all of us. So I'm testing the fefe.com. Fefe.com is also available. So as you can see, this is strictly an IDN. The F with the long tail, the F with the long tail, and the .com. So this is also available. Then after checkout, when you want to finally set up the domain, one issue I came across was they asked, which language is this you are trying to register? Then I got back to the tech support and I told them this language is our local script in Ghana, which is mainly the Ewe and the Ga characters, because these two mostly have their characters together. And I mentioned to them, this is not available in the list of languages that they have put there. So can they add our local script as part of the languages there? Or at least they should just write Ghana languages. They said no. Because the languages there is predetermined already. So that is one challenge that we'll all have to fight through. So I'm sure if we all try to register domains using the IDNs, and when it gets to the selection of the language, and we all make attempt to tell them that this language is a local script in Ghana, I'm sure the more the request comes, they'll be able to now add it. So the only solution I had was to choose English as the language I was registering, which wasn't the case. Because I was registering texts that are not English scripts, but rather Ewe script or Ewe and Gan script. So the only answer was for me to continue and indicate that it was an English script. That was the only way I was able to finally do the WASCO registration. So that is the advice for all of us. And the good news to all of us is now we can register domains using our local scripts, and also then by extension, you can now use those local scripts in your emails. That's the good news for us. Thank you. So any questions or contributions? If not, yeah.
Only a specific domain seller. I saw you using Hostinga,
yes.
But then can we get it from any other place?
Okay, the answer is not all, because some of the CCTLDs cannot register this. So if you are using a CCTLD, some CCTLDs cannot. So you need to choose the registry that can accept you to register it. And fortunate for us, when we try Hostinga, it allows. So I'm sure most of the big entities, GoDaddy, Hostinger, Namecheap, and the rest, they might, but I can only bet for Hostinger since that's what I've used. So it is now the trial for all of us to try the other ones to see if the registration can go through. Any other questions or additions? Francis, you want to add? Yeah, please.
All right, thank you. I think my thought is a bit divergent to what you just said, because Hostinger, I think they are a registrar or a reseller, and com or org is a registry on its own. It's a new generic domain, which is being hosted by, I know com is being owned by VeriSign, and Hostinger, 00host, they are all resellers or registrar. So once is working at Hostinger, it's not a doing of Hostinger. They are just a middleman who's selling to the end user, the registrar. So once it's working there, I should presume it should work for any other one who is selling .com on behalf of VeriSign, because they are just a middleman selling to the end user. I don't want you to think that, because in registry, we have the registry, the registrar, and the registrant. The end user like us, we are the registrant. And the one who manages the domain is the registry. And the one who sells as a middleman is the registrar. So I should believe once it's working here, it should work. But unfortunately, is that the CCT or the country code top level domain, like the .gh, and every other countries whose may not work because they are different from the generic domain. So if com is working, org is working, and ng or .gh might not work because it depends on the country to go an extra mile to make sure it's UA compliance. Thank you.
Okay, so I just checked. Thank you, Francis, for that addition. I just checked with GoDaddy, and we can all see the .com. You can do the registration there if you do the name search. Greatname.com, fefe.com, it is there. So you can make it yours. When you choose it, it will work. Can we all see it? So GoDaddy too works there. So it depends on the registry, as Francis has explained. So we are good to go. All right, thank you so much for your attention. MCs?
I think we can put our hands together for Raymond, for Frank, for Enoch, and for Sule for that moment of demonstration of the whole process. So now you know what sites to go to verify, to also buy these domain names, which are very diversified in terms of language. Now, at this moment, we've also exhausted our Q&A. I believe there's nobody here who has a question. A follow-up online, do we have any question? Is there any hand up online? Okay. You know, someone told me that right now you are the only person standing in between lunch and the next session. So I wouldn't want to be that kind of person. I think that we can all say it's been a great part 1 and part 2, and we can proceed to lunch, and afterwards we can come back for part 3. If you're excited, then I will just step aside so lunch can proceed. Put your hands together, please. Thank you very much. And let's all enjoy our lunch. We'll catch you in 30 minutes, right? Yeah, so it's ready. Please, let's go grab our lunch, and then we'll be back after that. Thank you. Yeah, people are sitting down, no? Please, are you not going? Should we continue?